It is easy to look past the smaller Galaxy S22. No, not because of its tiny size, but because it is overshadowed by the ultra hype around the Ultra phone in the series. But after using this phone, I am convinced that the Galaxy S22 is the right phone for most people, including me. And trust me, I'm so tempted to switch my SIM from the Galaxy S22 Ultra to the Galaxy S22. I just really don't like big phones despite the fact that I'm a big guy. Wait, you know what? Why don't we do one thing? Wait till the end of the video to see if I actually change my mind and if I actually switch the SIM. If you don't know me yet, I'm Ershad, you're watching Trakin Tech English, and this is our review of, and I have no hesitation in saying this, the best compact Android flagship phone in the market right now. It is not too small, it is not too big, and during my review period, I even forgot many times that this phone was inside my pocket. Also, I missed a couple of calls primarily because the vibration motor is not too strong. It is slimmer, shorter, and narrower than the Galaxy S21, and Samsung doesn't skimp on any of the premium features. This time around, you also get Corning's Gorilla Glass Victus Plus protection on the front and the back with armor-grade aluminum metal railing, which obviously makes the premium design way better than the previous generation, Galaxy S21 phones, because those came with a plastic back. And you know what? There's IP68 rating as well. Absolutely no compromises. You can't get any more premium than the Galaxy S21 in its price class, considering the fact that you get a symmetrical design and tight tolerances in the volume rocker and the power button as well. Now, I do remember seeing some concerns around the Galaxy S22 Ultra's matte black frosted variant actually scratching and scuffing. But in my time with the Galaxy S22 with a similar design, I didn't see any such issues. And you know what? I've been using it without a case, and you don't even get a case in the box. And I've also been using it roughly. Absolutely no problems here. Now, another reason why I really like the Galaxy S22 is the flat display and the symmetrical bezels on all four sides, which is extremely slim. Plus, you get 1300 nits of peak brightness when you're playing HDR videos. And if you take it outside, outdoors, I didn't notice any problem with sunlight legibility. It's actually very, very good. Also, the Samsung Galaxy S22 has an LTPS panel, and there was some confusion around, the refresh rates. Now, Samsung has confirmed that the S22's display can actually refresh from as low as, 48 Hz to as high as 120 Hz. Now, there's a fantastic explainer by the folks over at XDA Developers where they figured out at what display refresh rates does this display actually refresh. It starts from 24 to 48 to, 60, 30, depending on the type of content that's playing on your display. And the automatic refresh rate of the display actually syncs very well with the frame rate of the content as tuned by Samsung. So if you're playing SDR video and if you're playing a 24 FPS video, then the display syncs at 24 Hz. If you're playing a 30 FPS video, it syncs at 30 Hz, 60 FPS at 60 Hz, and so on and so forth. But when you're playing back HDR content on the Samsung Galaxy S22's display, it refreshes at a constant of 120 Hz, and that's not great for the battery life, but that's a limitation of the LTPS technology and not necessarily Samsung's algorithm. Honestly, all of this technical detail is not required for most regular users, and it feels a little pedantic at best. Basically, on the Galaxy S22, you get a fantastic A-grade, A+ grade display, and you're going to enjoy your content on this, whether you're playing games or watching videos. It's just a lot of fun. And you know what? Forget about the Galaxy S22's display. I'll give you guys A+ grades as well. Just hit that red subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it to get notified whenever we put out an awesome new tech video. And maybe even hit that like button and comment below for the YouTube algorithm. Please, please. Now, the cameras on the Samsung Galaxy S22 have also been upgraded, and it shares the same camera setup with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus as well. You get a 50 megapixel Samsung GN5 sensor as opposed to the 12 megapixel units inside, the Samsung Galaxy S21 and the S21 Plus. Also, more importantly, I really like the fact that you get a proper telephoto now. You get a 10 megapixel 3x 70mm telephoto lens, in comparison to what the S21 had, which was a 3x hybrid zoom. And you know what? I played around with the cameras and I was completely surprised by the fact that the Galaxy S22 in most scenarios actually takes pictures that are as good looking as the Galaxy S22 Ultra. In fact, I feel that some people might actually prefer the pictures on the Galaxy S22. Let's just take a look at the samples. For example, take a look at this 3x telephoto zoom shot or this one. You get a similar color science with similar sharpness too on both the phones. And in this shot from the primary camera, the pictures look almost like they're taken from the same cameras. But yes, when you do 100% crop, you will notice that the S22 Ultra is slightly sharper. Now when it comes to color reproduction, the S22 is on the slightly warmer side, whereas the S22 Ultra is cooler. Now the real color temperature is somewhere in between, as you can tell from these samples on your screen. And the dynamic range in HDR shots is nearly identical on both the phones as well. I really cannot tell the two apart. In ultra wide angle shots, the S22 Ultra is definitely crisper and produces sharper textures when viewed at close crop. But color science consistency is slightly off compared to the primary camera in both the phones. Dynamic range performance, as you can see in this picture, is kind of similar on both. Now when you shoot pictures of people, what I noticed is the edge detection in portraits is literally identical on both the phones. And without portrait mode, in even light, the human subject shots look very similar again, with fairly natural facial tones too. Now against the light in HDR shots, however, the S22 Ultra does a slightly better job of exposing the face, but it is not too drastic. And even in selfies, whether you're shooting in even light, against the light with HDR on, or in portraits, both the phones are evenly matched. Except for the sharpness, which is ever so slightly better on the S22 Ultra, and most people won't even care. Now in low light shots using the primary camera, the warmth in the S22 looks very eye pleasing. But yes, again, you won't see too many differences here. I actually expected the S22 Ultra to be better. In fact, the dynamic range is generally better on the Galaxy S22. Even in extremely low light situations, the Galaxy S22 managed to capture a tack sharp focus in night mode, and the night mode shots, for some odd reason, look sharper. Now the Samsung Galaxy S22 can also shoot 4K 60fps videos from all the lenses, and it is mostly equally good across both the camera systems, which is basically on the S22 Ultra and the Galaxy S22. You know what, truly the Galaxy S22's cameras completely shocked me, and that's why I'm itching to actually use this phone, because in such a small form factor, you get almost all of the practical lenses except for that 10x telephoto on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And if you are somebody who likes more zoom range in your cameras, then the Galaxy S22 Ultra should be the one for you. One of the best decisions by Samsung this year has to be the fact that they actually brought the S22 series in India with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chips inside it. Having said that, Samsung hasn't tuned it to be a performance monster, and that's not possible on the Galaxy S22 as well, considering its small size and the fact that it doesn't have any sort of cooling solution. So gamers, please stay away. Now the phone does get warm really quickly if you're actually shooting 4K videos or using the camera extensively out in the hot sun, or if you're gaming with it. And immediately the system recognizes it and starts throttling the performance. You can see how in the 3D Mark Wildlife stress test, it touched only a maximum of 41 degrees. That's because it reached that temperature really quickly and then started throttling the performance, which ended up with a average stability of just 49.3%. And of course, there's this huge controversy around Samsung's game optimization service, or GOS, where Samsung is throttling the performance of nearly 10,000 apps and games. I actually spoke about it in our latest episode of Retech. You should watch it if you haven't yet. Go check it out. All that said, in daily usage, if you're not pushing for performance, if you're just going to be using Twitter, Instagram, and basic apps, this phone just flies. And if you're going to be playing a couple of rounds of COD Mobile, which is basically what I do because I don't play at a stretch, then it works really well. It's basically got the performance on tap for when you need it. In fact, if you talk about gaming, I actually prefer gaming on the Samsung Galaxy S22's flat display compared to the curved display on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now, considering the fact that Samsung added a 3x telephoto, I'm presuming that there wasn't more space for it to add the same 4000 mAh battery which is found on the Samsung Galaxy S21. Therefore, the battery size has now reduced to 3700 mAh. The battery life is actually better than the Galaxy S21. I had reviewed it last year and the battery life was really bad. In fact, the battery life in a similar phone like the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is also really bad. Compared to those phones, the battery life is actually better on the Galaxy S22. But in the larger scheme of things, when you're looking at the entire landscape of smartphones, the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13 offer far better battery life, especially the iPhone 13 with even smaller batteries, but that's because of the hardware software optimization. And on the Galaxy S22, you get about 4 hours to 4.5 hours of screen on time basis your usage, which is about 3/4 days of usage. Also, charging speeds are not great. You can get a maximum of 25 watts of charging speed with a compatible charger. And of course, the charger is not in the box, so you will have to buy it separately. In my testing, I managed to charge the phone in about an hour. And also, I must mention that this phone can do wireless charging and can also do reverse wireless charging. Software experience on the Galaxy S22 is fantastic because it is tuned by the really great One UI 4.1 software on top of Android 12. And Currently, across ecosystems out there, Samsung is the only brand that is promising 4 years of assured software updates. What more could you want? The software experience is actually really, really good. Finally, we have a worthy alternative to the iPhone 12s and the iPhone 13s of the world in this compact Android flagship, that is the Galaxy S22. It's handy to hold and use, and it offers a proper telephoto camera as well. Only if the battery life and the charging speeds were better, but alas, the perfect phone doesn't exist. Anyway, I was looking at the offers online at the Samsung shop, and I could figure out that you can buy the base 8GB 128GB variant of this phone for about 65,000 rupees if you can conjure up the discounts. And for that price, it's actually great value for money. If you're considering this phone, go ahead and buy this. And if you can wait for it, maybe you can wait until the Diwali sales where the price could drop even further. You know what? I'll actually switch from the Galaxy S22 Ultra. I absolutely love it. It's the perfect size. I'm okay with the battery life problems. Bro, so now, semi-jacketed tool. Give me now.